Alright, what's up YouTube? Thanks for joining me here in this February 1st of 2023 for a market review. I apologize that I didn't post a whole lot this morning, but I was on the road from a job. Believe it or not, I did look at the market, but again, I didn't have time. That's why I did a video on January 30th to kind of cover this because I knew I'd be on the road. So for those of you who are new, please take the time and go and watch the video. There's a lot of things that played out from that video. Not that I have a crystal ball or anything, because I don't. It very well could have gone the opposite way. And that's one of the things that I always tell people, is that you need to keep an open mind and understand that just because the market did what you wanted it to today, that doesn't mean that it's going to do it again for you when you do another video or you try to help someone out. So you always got to keep an open mind. Today we're going to go over the watch list review, talk about how we trade the reaction, and then talk about consistency. It seems like a few of you that I've been working with, we're struggling with consistency here, and hopefully we can talk about that and change that. Let's start with the SPY. So the SPY today took out this previous high from 912, and we broadened and closed right below it. The Qs, we took out this previous high right here, and now we're trying to possibly get into this gap. The Russell ran to the previous high here, broadened and then pulled back. And the Dow's kind of lagging, but it did run to this previous high and then pulled back. Now, one of the things that we talked about in the video from the 30th is that the SPY, we really wanted to get it to the point where, let me get my little chart up here. We wanted to get a pullback right here, and we got it, and then we ran right back to this resistance area. So the real question is do we try to run and fill this gap, or do we pull back and then run, or do we come back right here? Those are the different scenarios that you have, and I know that's a lot of white arrows, but for those of you who have been following me for a while, I think you followed that. Tomorrow's going to be an interesting day. We're going to see how many buyers show up, because they got to keep buying if they're going to move it up. So that's what we were looking at on the 30th, and then also on the Qs we were looking at that same reaction. Let's go through the watch list here. AEHR, I ended up taking this one because I like how we broke out here and we rested, and now we're trying to break out. For those of you who understand the run, rest, run, it looks something like this. We ran, we rested, we ran, we rested, and so now the question is, do we run again, or do we break lower back down to here? We don't know. It was pretty sloppy with this one today, and I almost got stopped out. My stop was right in here. It was ugly, but I hung in there, so we'll see what happens. AEO, I tweeted about this one as it was breaking out through this 16 area, and then we ran the 1651. Now, here's the deal, and I get this a lot from people. Oh, gee, Phil, that's only a 50-cent move. If you're a young trader or fairly new to this, it's not about the money, it's about the process. And you have to get that through your head, that you're trading the process and the money will come. So nothing irritates me more than people who say, oh man, but you're not making anything. You know what? I don't care if you're trading one freaking share. Trade the process and get the process ingrained into your head. You know, and for some of you, you need to go back to that, where you just trade one share until you can calm down and stay in the trade. Let the market prove you wrong. All right, lecture over. AMD AMD reported earnings, and you can see we filled this gap. All kinds of buyers stepped in today and just drove this thing higher. Beautiful move. Bank of America, I had tweeted that I was short because we did 2 down and then it reversed. And here's the bad news. I wasn't able to get out of this the day before because I was at work. And I had to actually close it right here today. So it is what it is. I'm not going to cry about it. Nice to see some strength in the market. BKR ran right to our target. Our target here was 32.17, and we got back into it when we got this 31.32 alert. So nice little move for a $30 stock. Boot, haven't done anything with Boot. We're still waiting for it to consolidate in this area right here, and once we get the signal here, we can take it. Or if you want to buy it down here and then make your 10-day your stop, you definitely can do that too. CF had a nice little bounce today, followed through. I actually took this trade the other day at 83.58, traded it back up to 84.92, took my money because it went up against the 10, and then today, you know, I could have gotten back into it, but again, I was on the road. But nice trade. CLF hit our target. Previous high was 21.75. We took this once. It broke 21.40 and went back up. 30-some cent move on a $20 stock. Not bad. Crowd was actually on Twitter quite a bit today, and several of the guys that I follow were talking about it, and I took a quick look at it and then had tweeted that it was starting to break this area right into earnings. And you're going to pick up, if you pay attention, that a lot of these stocks like to run into earnings about a month out. This is one where in and out, take the money, see what happens. You can always get back into it. Matter of fact, I'm going to set this alert to right there, so if it alerts me tomorrow, I'll probably take that trade and then give it a very, very tight stop of about 105.45. That's how I would do it. Don't just follow me, trade your plan. D&D, I tweeted about this one too. Bounced right off support, snoozer of a stock, got in at 73.63, and it moved like 50 cents, and I gave up on it. Just got out with what I could. Docu was breaking out, tweeted about that. Very, very close to filling the gap. Ford, my fun-loving Ford, took out this previous high right here, sold it right there, and now we're just waiting for it to set up because we have earnings tomorrow. Intel, I was short going into the day, and it stopped me out right in this area right here, this 28.56. Didn't even hesitate. Once it comes up against you right here, that's your stop, or at least that's my stop. I'm out. Don't even mess around with it. I actually took a position in this for my wife's 401k. Looks good to get back up into this $30 area, if not more. Macy's, look at how they shook everyone out in Macy's. I was in Macy's the other day and took it right in this area right here, and then took money, just short trade again. And then today they busted it all the way down, stopped all these people out right here, and then they bought it right back up and moved it higher. They're dogs. They will do that. They will do that because they know a lot of people have stops underneath all these days right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 days, 9 to 10 days right here. People had their stops there and they busted all of them, and then they brought it right back up. PCG is one I'm still in. Like this one long term, but it's not doing so hot. Matter of fact, if it closes below this area tomorrow, I'll probably get out of it. I've been in it right around this 1580 area, so I'm going to give it another day. Play, this is one that we talked about as well, how we broke out through 4303, and then we ran to previous high. And what's coming up? That's right, earnings. PLNT just couldn't get going today. I was hoping that it would take out this 85.25, and I actually got out of it yesterday when it took out 84.47. So that was a quick trade from 83 here to 84.39. Nice little move. Like I tweeted before, a lot of news was coming out, so I was trying to cut back on my positions, and to me this one was close enough, so I just took it, and so thankfully I avoided all this crap today. AT&T, still have this in my wife's account and in my long-term account. It looks good. Sooner or later it's going to have to get outside this big bar, but you can see what it did today. It filled the gap and then we pulled back. XLU is interesting because it's still holding this level of support here, and I'd like to see it kind of get up above this area right there, and if it does I will go long and try to trade it back up to 72, but if we break down then I'll try to trade it back down to fill the gap here. And last but not least, Zillow. Alright, previous high right here, 46.09. What do we have coming up? Earnings 215. Doesn't mean it'll get there, but based upon what we've seen on a lot of the action, there's a better probability that we could get up to this 46 area. That would be a nice dollar move. What else? I think, let's look at this. We talked about consistency, we talked about the trade reaction, and the review. I think that's it. So I appreciate every one of you. I hope you're getting something out of these videos, and as always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me on Twitter. A few of you are starting to warm up to me, and I appreciate that. Hopefully we'll get a few more. And until then, we'll keep the ball rolling, and we'll just trade the charts and not the news or any of the noise. So until then, take care and live, laugh, and love. Talk to you later.